but this don't happen to me every day. No, baby. So now we get lost and carried away. I wanna get lost and carried away with you, maybe all night. Oh, baby.
Hey guys, what going on? Welcome to Intel with Chantel. My name is Chantel, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber or you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about some amazing dupe fragrances that I would love to review with you from the House of Armaf. You don't have to spend $1 million to smell amazing. So if you love to smell good on a budget like me, who love to save a coin, stay tuned to see what I have in store for you today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and definitely leave me a comment down below so that we can get to know each other better. Now, like me and my girlfriend say, when we really want to talk about something, let we get down in it. So we have two fragrances in this fragrance community that, in my opinion, is the most talked about fragrances ever. One is a straight up and down, in my opinion, unisex fragrance, and the other is more a feminine leaning fragrance. Those two fragrances are none other than Delina by Parfums de Marly and Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Okay, first we are going to talk about Delina. Now, Delina is a beautiful rose fragrance for people who love rose. And even if you don't like rose, it's not a heavy rose. So it's still a rose that you can enjoy. But like I said, today is about dupes because Delina has a hefty price tag of $375. Yes, $375. So even though sometimes I buy fragrances that cost that much, I still love a good dupe. Now, Delina is not one of my favorite fragrances, if I'm being 100% honest. Even though it's a beautiful fragrance, it's not one of my favorite. I've had a couple of samples from this. I've had Delina Rosé, Delina Exclusive, but today we're going to talk about Delina itself. Now, when I spray Delina, because see, I said I have tons of samples of this, right? Because it's not my favorite, so I never really pulled the plug on it, because I'm like, am I buying into the hype or am I buying it because I really like it? I might one day, because I love fragrances, just pull the trigger and get me a full bottle. But when I spray Delina, this fragrance, it's pretty. This to me is what I consider a pretty girl scent. When you want to be dressed up, you want to smell feminine, and you want to kind of be that, like, I'm going to give them something, but I want to give it to them and smell pretty. I just want to smell soft, pretty, feminine. This fragrance is rose, it's floral, it's fruity. It has a little greenness to it, and it's a little aromatic. Right? Now you have top notes here of lychee, rhubarb, bergamot, nutmeg, middle notes of Turkish rose, peony, musk, pitalia, vanilla, and base notes of cashmere, incense, cedar, and Haitian vetiver. Now, what I get from this fragrance is just the lychee, the rhubarb, and the rose. I don't get any cashmere, I don't get any woodiness from the cedar or the vetiver, and I definitely don't get any incense. I get a fresh, fruity rose. Now this on my skin, it could last me a good 6 hours, right? So the projection, great projection. Or let me not say great, I would say moderate, right? Longevity, I could get a good 6-7 hours out of this fragrance. And this is not a skin scent on my skin, right? People don't have to come in close to me in order to smell me. But like I said before, it is not a fragrance that was love at first sniff for me. And I think it might be because of that rhubarb note. Rhubarb could be kind of like a pungent note. It's not a bad note, but it's kind of like strong. This one for me, I have to be in the mood for that rhubarb in order to pull to wear this fragrance. And maybe that's one of the reasons that I haven't pulled the plug on it. Especially since, like I said, it's $375, and you don't have to spend $1 million to smell good, right? So now we're going to jump into, like today, everything that I'm gonna do is the House of Armaf. So the House of Armaf came up with an amazing dupe for that fragrance, and that is Club de Nuit Imperial. This fragrance is a 90 to 95% dupe to my nose for Delina. This fragrance, it's rose, it's floral, it's musky, it's powdery, it's fruity. This fragrance is a great alternative to actual Delina. And like how Delina is $375, baby, you could get this one on Amazon for $45. $45 and still smell amazing. Still get that Delina DNA. The only thing that stands out a little different to me on the dupe is I get a tad bit of the vanilla in this one that I do not get in the original Delina. And for me, I like that because I think it kind of balances it out, right? It balances it out, and it also, I don't get that strong rhubarb, but the DNA of Delina, I definitely get it in this fragrance. This has top notes of lychee, bergamot, nutmeg, middle notes of Turkish rose, vanilla, musk, and peony, and base notes of vanilla, incense, cashmere, and cedar. This, guys, for $45, this is a definite stay in my collection. Definite. I can say that I would always have this in my collection, especially for the price point. I might pick up Delina, I might not, because it's a tad bit different, but it is 90% the same. It would give you that Delina vibe. You will still smell pretty, you will still smell feminine, and for a fraction of the cost. So if you don't want to pull the plug and spend $375 on Delina, I would say give Club de Nuit Imperial a try. And even if you have Delina, I would still say give this a try, because like I said, the vanilla in it, to me, it's beautiful, and the fact that it doesn't have that strong rhubarb, I feel like it's softer and it's easier to wear. So try this one. This is Club de Nuit Imperial by Armaf. Next up, we have, I swear, one of the most talked about fragrances, if not just in the fragrance community, child, baby, in the world, okay? Everybody talks about Baccarat Rouge 540. This is another one that I think it's pretty. I've had a couple samples of it. This is another one I've never pulled the trigger on and bought the full bottle. When I first smelled this, I was like, this is pretty. It's woody, it's a little warm and spicy, it's fresh, it's a little aromatic, and it's floral, right? Not too floral, but it's floral. This has top notes of saffron and jasmine, middle notes of amberwood and ambergris, and base note of fair resin and cedar. This was pretty. I don't know if I didn't pull the plug on it because I'm like, everybody have it, or I didn't pull the plug on it because when I smelled it, it was nice. I like it, but if I'm going to say BR540 is a love for me, I'll be lying. It's not a love for me, it's a strong like. Now, what I would say is, even though it's not a love for me, This is a fragrance in my collection that I have gotten the most compliments ever. Which is so weird because I'll be like, oh, I always want to wear it. I don't always want to wear it, but every time I wear it, I get a compliment. I have never worn Baccarat Rouge 540 and not get a compliment. Never. I remember I was in Kohl's one day and I was walking through and they had this elderly couple walking behind me, and this lady, she was like, oh my God, baby, is that you? You smell amazing. And her husband was kind of taken back like, babe. And she was like, no, she smelled beautiful. And I was like, thank you so much, you know. And it was this. It was BR540. That same day, I went into the mall. Someone stopped me and they were like, hey, you smell great. What are you wearing? It was BR540. I don't know if it's just something that works really well with my body chemistry. On top of it's a beautiful fragrance, but I get the most compliments when wearing this fragrance. I don't think any other fragrance in my collection have gotten me this many compliments every single time. So, but Baccarat 540 is also another fragrance that comes with a hefty price tag of $325. That's kind of steep. Here, we don't have to spend $1 million to smell amazing. So, if you do not want to spend that hefty price and you don't mind a good dupe, like I don't mind a good dupe because who doesn't want to save some money, right? I would tell you, give Armaf Club de Nuit Untold a try. This fragrance is a 95% dupe to BR540. 95% or higher. I've had a couple dupes of BR540 before and nothing is this close. Nothing. This is the closest one that I have smelled. The closest one. This one, ambery, warm, spicy, aromatic, everything like BR540 this gives me. And when I looked at the notes, I was shocked, blown away, but not shocked because the notes are exactly the same. You have top notes of saffron, jasmine, middle notes of amberwood, ambergris, and base notes of fair resin and cedar. The exact notes that they say BR540 have, this has. And I could attest that I believe them because it is so close. It is so close. So close. Just like BR540, the projection is great. The sillage is great. The longevity, it gives me the same, about 5 or 6 hours on my skin. But once again, Armaf comes in at a fraction of the price, $45. If I buy BR540, it's just because I love fragrance and I want to say that I have the original in my collection. I know some of y'all is like, girl, please, why? But that would be the only reason that I purchased BR540, if I ever do. I cannot say I will ever purchase the original bottle because this gives me the same amount of compliments, lasts the same on my skin. Everything is the same. It really is. Not saying I would never purchase the same bottle because I just love fragrances and there's something about having original fragrance for fragrance collectors that we just like to have. Does it make sense? Maybe not. I'm not even about to argue that point because it probably don't, right? Like, why spend $325 when you get the same for $45? But at this point, I am rocking with Armaf Club de Nuit Untold. If you wanted to smell like Baccarat Rouge 540, but you just did not want to pay that hefty ticket price, please give Armaf Club de Nuit Untold a try. You will not be disappointed. If you don't like this, do not buy BR540 because you would not like it because it's that close. It's that close. Armaf is a house that have some amazing dupes. Not just these two that I talked about today, but they have some amazing dupes. So check them out. If you want to smell amazing at a fraction of the cost and you you just didn't want to spend that money, check Armaf out. I know they have, like I said, dupes to BR540, dupes to Delina, dupes to Creta, Ventus. They have a lot of beautiful dupes that you can try. I am not sponsored by Armaf. Armaf don't know me from anywhere. Everything that I've bought from Armaf has been with my coins or with my husband's coins. Just, hey, my money or his money. So this is my genuine, authentic, honest opinion of Armaf. If you want to smell amazing, you want to smell gorgeous, you want to smell pretty, you want to smell expensive, you want to smell luxurious, I would say definitely give Armaf impression of Delina, Club de Nuit Imperial, and Baccarat Rouge 540, Club de Nuit Untold. Give them a try. You will not be disappointed. You will not be. Remember, please like, share, leave me a thumbs up, and definitely leave a comment down below so we could talk about it. With that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
But this don't happen to me every day.